When we gathered our Brookings colleagues, 14 of them, we suggested a framework to assess progress in the Eurozone. And of course, we don't know what the Eurozone will look like 2 years from now, 5 years from now. It's not going to be the United States of America. It's not going to be one unified country or a strong federation. It will most probably be, in the tradition of the European construction, a sui generis constructions with elements of federalism and elements that have not been seen anywhere in history before. And so instead of having a fixed goal, a sort of fixed destination for that road, what we did was we discussed what the necessary conditions to get to a stable currency union would be, meaning the different objectives that European leaders should pursue in order to make that currency union solid and resilient.
What needs to happen is eventually for there to be these 6 pillars that we're looking at. And those basically are that there be enough political union, there be enough unified European bodies to allow the tough issues to be worked out, that there be joint banking supervision and other aspects of the banking system, that there be a central bank that's able to basically handle the problems that can come up across the zone. So there's a whole set of things that need to eventually be in place. Some of those were farther along than others. So if you look at the survey results from this inaugural survey, what you find is that there's a recognition that the Eurozone has already moved quite a considerable ways on dealing with things like the sovereign debt crisis that they're immediately faced with. They've had to develop the techniques to do a lot about that.
What's interesting in the results of the survey is the very contrasted levels of progress that our scholars have found or estimated. So for example, they think that in terms of the ECB, the European Central Bank, a lot of progress has already been made, and if it was only that objective, then the Eurozone would already be viable.
On the other hand, the deeper political union, which would make everything else work better, there's a long way to go still, and there's a pretty clear consensus on that.
On the issue of emergency tools, and also on internal adjustments. Well, emergency tools, we know what these are, the EFSF and the ESM, the European Stability Mechanism. A lot of progress has already been made, and that's what's interesting. But then on the other hand, our scholars have found that these were generally undersized, and the question is really basically what the political determination to use them and perhaps have more solid instruments in place would be. In terms of internal economic adjustments, this is also a very difficult issue, simply because it touches upon reforms that have social consequences, social impact, improving competitiveness on the one hand, especially in the periphery countries, and on the other hand, especially for countries like Germany or Finland or the Netherlands, allowing a greater rate of inflation so that other countries can adjust more easily. And these issues, whether in the south or in the north of Europe, are really difficult issues to tackle, and that explains why the progress made so far has not been as great as on other objectives.
The euro crisis is far from over, and even when they get through this over the next 1 or 2 or 5 years, however long it takes for this phase, they're still going to want to establish even stronger foundations, because who knows what the next crisis will be like.